The resident representative can now enact island ordinances.
What?
Free Isabel! Free Isabel! Free Isabel! Free Isabel!
Oh my god, this is so cool.
That is so cute.
That's so good for like being compact. I'm in shock. I'm fucking shit.
Nintendo has been treating us Animal Crossing fans pretty well within the past few months, as they not only teased the Roost being in New Horizons in their last Nintendo Direct, yes, the same Nintendo Direct that gave us that lovely Mario movie casting, but we also got a few days ago a pretty big Animal Crossing Direct that was like 20 minutes long, and it was just packed with information, showing us some of the new characters that they're bringing back, some new updates they're adding, a whole ass DLC that you could buy, and all of it being available to download on November 5th, with pre-orders for the DLC being available on the 29th. There's just a whole lot of stuff going on here, and in order for me to simplify this video, and in order to not make it feel like it's just ripping off the whole Direct, I'm only going to be touching on the most essential subjects to me, which is basically going to be a majority of the Direct. So if you want to watch the whole Direct, the link will be in the description below. Let's get things out of the way with the most important piece of this update. The Roost. The Roost has played a big part in Animal Crossing since Wild World, and since then it has also appeared in City Folk, New Leaf, and even the Animal Crossing movie. So it makes sense if it would end up appearing in New Horizons, however, it never did for the majority of the game's existence. Well, now they finally brought it back, including bringing back the pigeon boy that runs this place, Brewster. They also added a couple of other abilities to this new Roost, with one of my personal favorites being the fact that you can now use an amiibo card of a villager to invite them over to have a drink with you. And I also love that the amiibo stand for that is a little telephone, meaning it looks like you're calling in the villager to invite them instead of just using the card. That's adorable. I love that. Speaking of inviting villagers, you can now finally have villagers be invited to your own house. So finally, you can have a villager stop by your house and you can interact with them and talk to them, do other stuff with them. That's really cool. I'm finally able to invite a villager over to my house. Oh, and not only is Brewster in the Roost coming back, but also Captain's coming back! Yes, the little green turtle man that has been there since the original Animal Crossing game is now finally reprising his role in New Horizons, and much like the Dodo Airlines, he will take you to a mystery island and will have to pay 1,000 Nook Miles for it. This little area of the Direct shows off for the first time a new sort of usable item in Animal Crossing, and that is a still placeable, climbable ladder or vine in this case. Originally, if you wanted to get up those areas in New Horizons, you would either need to build an incline or bring a ladder with you, but now you could finally just place a ladder right then and there and just use that without having to pull out your portable ladder. This is definitely going to be great for decoration and especially compactness, but it's definitely going to be using up a couple of resources. Harv's Island is also going to be getting a massive update in this game, and this time you can now use bells to have those little villagers that pop up on your island every once in a while to sell stuff, including Sahara, Kix, Red, and Leaf, can now have a permanent shop on Harv's Island. That's really cool. This also kind of definitely gives people like me an incentive to not time travel, as I now know I have a little permanent solution as to where I can get my stuff from Kix or Leaf on Harv's Island. That's really neat. I like that. Reese and Cyrus are also going to have a role here, and finally, you can now customize some of the furniture that is on your island that is different for other people's islands, but you can't customize it. If you don't know, certain items like the lighthouse, lamppost, vending machine, and soda machine all have a permanent color on your island. You can't really customize it unless you have somebody that has a different color of those items send it over to you. You can't really customize it. Here, thanks to Reese and Cyrus, you finally can! That's incredible! You wanna know what else is incredible here? Harriet is finally back! And thanks to this new Harv's Island upgrade, she now has her role back as a hair cutter. I swear to God, they're adding so much to this game. It's like the ultimate thank you from Nintendo. I love that. Another new addition they're adding to this game is kind of similar to Wii Fit in a way. One of the new additions they're adding is a group stretching exercise that you could do with your villagers through your Joy-Con controllers. I will admit, that's kind of neat. I don't know about how others feel about it. I know some people think it's really neat, and to me personally, I think it's also neat too. It's nice to have this little incentive to get up and do stuff. Oh, also, you know how I told you earlier that they're now adding some sort of incentive to not time travel? Well, now one of the new things that you could do in Animal Crossing is ordinances, in which if you are a morning person or a night person, you can now have all the villagers be out in the open depending on certain times of the day. Speaking of villagers, you're also able to now finally customize and change their houses, and not only that, but you can now finally change the shape of your own house. That's really cool. This villager customization thing will only be unlocked if you do something with the DLC, but I'll go into that later. This is something that a lot of Animal Crossing fans have been wanting for a long time, so it's very nice that they're finally adding that here. Speaking of new stuff they're adding an even bigger storage capacity to your house. So instead of you being able to add just 2,400 different items, you can now store up to double 5,000 items. Holy shit, Nintendo. That's generous. You could have just set it to just 3,000, but no, you decided to go and double that. Actually, a little over double. That's cool. Thank you for that. Obviously, that's just the max upgrade. You can upgrade a little bit at a time, but still, you can upgrade to the max. 5,000 items. I'm definitely going to be doing that. They're also now going to be finally adding cooking to this game, meaning they're also going to be adding a bunch of other items that you can farm and pick up, including tomatoes, wheat, potatoes, carrots, and even fucking sugarcane. That's neat. Decoration is also going to be getting an upgrade, including one-sided wallpapers and being able to hang stuff on the ceiling. Oh, and speaking of room decoration, originally if you had a little narrow section of your room, you couldn't walk around that, even if it looks like you could. But now, thanks to this update, you finally can. You can like squeak through the area. That's adorable. And it's also thanks to this section that we now finally got to see our, lo and behold, Froggy chair that had been there since New Leaf, but we couldn't get it in New Horizons. So now we finally can, and I'm definitely going to be buying up some of those when I get the chance. Speaking of decoration, they're also going to be adding new fences to the game, and not only that, but you can now finally customize some of the previous fences that were in the game too. The camera's also getting an upgrade, giving you this little first-person mode, which is really neat. Patterns are also getting a nice little upgrade as well. We're also getting new reactions, and all of them are adorable as always. You also get this little Island Life 101 thing where Tom and Isabelle will get to tell you little tips and tricks on how to live your island life. New items are being added that you could pay with Nook Miles. And finally, we can now put stuff in storage without having to go into our house, and we can now finally check our ABD without having to go into the resident services building. That's neat. I've been wanting that for a while, so I'm glad they finally added that. KK Slider is also going to be getting a bigger discography, now adding 12 new songs that you could either unlock by having KK Slider play it for you or buy for it randomly. And they're now also adding music boxes that are playable too, so that's cool. Gyroids are also finally coming back, and this time you can also customize them too. We're also getting new items that you could buy from the Nooks Cranny, including this really neat gaming setup with a little computer on the side, headphones with a microphone, and a quadruple monitor setup. I've actually never seen a lot of people have quadruple monitor setups, but they do look really nice. I personally didn't find any use for me, but I do know a lot of other people do, so that's really cool that they're giving people that have quadruple monitor setups a time to shine. And with that is all the stuff that they're adding in the 2.0 update. But wait, there's more! They're also now adding paid DLC that you could pay one time for $25, titled Happy Home Paradise. It's pretty similar to Happy Home Designer on the 3DS in a way, but here there's an objective. Here you have to design a villager's dream home with little missions that you have to complete by decorating the house. And here there's actually even more items available for you to purchase, including partition walls or wall splitters. What the f***? They're adding so much here. And it's also here that we now get to see what looks to be an outside editor. If you don't know, in New Horizons, you can have this little editor that can place stuff on your house instead of you having to do it. You can place things wherever you want, move them wherever you want, and it looks like they're bringing that here outside, but I don't know if it's exclusive to Happy Home Paradise or you can do it in your own New Horizons place. I'm pretty sure it's exclusive to Happy Home Paradise. You can also customize the weather or season and the time of the day, and on the inside you could customize the room size, the lighting, and even soundscapes. You can also polish stuff too, and I will admit, it looks really cute. I like that. I can't explain all of it here, but I could definitely tell you they're adding a lot of fucking stuff here. I'm just loving it. And as I probably mentioned before, over time, if you have used this DLC or have played around with it for a while, you can now finally customize the other villagers' houses and remodel them. So that's great. I'm very happy about that. So that was everything that Happy Home Paradise had to offer. And if you think they would stop there, they decided to give us one more kicker afterwards, announcing a brand new series of Animal Crossing amiibos, Series 5 in this case. This series would contain villagers that were originally exclusive to New Horizons and never had any amiibos prior. This includes, of course, Audie and obviously Raymond. Of course, everybody's going to try to scout for that little guy. And just like the update in the Happy Home Paradise DLC, this too will also be released on November 5th. So that was everything that the Animal Crossing Direct had to offer, and I'm really looking forward to this. It'll all be coming out on November 5th, and I'd say it'll definitely be worth the wait because, man, they're adding so much here. They'll definitely give me an extra 500 hours to play with. And while this is the last major update, it's not the last update period. They're probably going to be adding other smaller features in later updates. But if this does end up becoming the final update period for New Horizons, it's definitely going to be one hell of an update. But I want to hear what you think. What are your thoughts on this New Horizons update? And what are your thoughts on the Happy Home Paradise DLC pack? Tell me in the comments. And if you have any other suggestions for what you want me to talk about next, then be sure to submit them via Twitter, Discord, and in the comment section below. And if you did enjoy this video, hit the like button, and if you're new, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, so you'll be notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And if you want to support me even further, then you can go check out my merch store, which will be in the description below. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.